All right, so for this video, sorry, I'm just checking to make sure my microphone's on. For this video, we are going to discuss how we use the 5-number summary and build a box and whisker plot. Okay, so when we do the 5-number summary, the very first thing you're going to want to do is this works best if you have paper and pencil to work with. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to write the numbers out. All right, and this video is going to be a little longer than a lot of the other ones because it takes time. There isn't really a fast way to do this whole 5-number summary thing, but and see, I'm already making mistakes. But once you do it a couple times, because it's such a production, you pretty much have it. All right. So remember the 5-number summary. We got 5 things we got to find. We got to find a minimum. All right. I don't know why this isn't writing. We got to find a minimum. We got to find our quartile 1. We got to find our median. Then we're going to find our quartile 3. And ALEKS calls these the lower and upper quartiles. Q1 would be the lower quartile. Q3 would be the upper. And then we're going to find our maximum. And for this, we don't really need to know our interquartile range because I'm pretty sure that it doesn't ask us about that. So for your minimum is just your smallest value. So your smallest value is 8. And then your maximum is going to be 50. So those are pretty straightforward. So 8 and 50. Now let's find our median. And we're going to find our median by doing it the old-fashioned way. Now there is a faster way to find the median. And the faster way to find the median, believe it or not, is to count how many values you have. All right? And we know from reading this that if I wrote this outright, there should be 16 numbers here. Okay? And I didn't write this outright because I'm only seeing 17. Oh, I didn't write 21 twice. See, that's the thing with these is you miss something like that and it completely throws you off. So we got 19 and 21. All right, so I got 16. So the fast way to figure out where your median values are going to be is take that number and divide it by 2. All right, and don't worry about the remainder. So 16 divided by 2 is 8. And then if you count 8 in, if you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I know that if it's an even number, it's going to be between these two because I could count 8 from going from the top down, right? And that's going to put me right here. And if it's an odd number, that means that there's going to be a number between them. And so that's going to be easy. So because it's an even number, I don't have a nice clean median where I can just pull it out. I got to figure out what's the halfway point between 25 and 27. Well, you just go 25 plus 27 and find the average of them. You get 52, you divide it by 2, and you get 26. So my median is 26. All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start and find my Q1 by looking at these numbers right here. All right, it's my lower quartile, so you look at your lower half of numbers, not including your median. And because my median isn't in my data set, this is easy. And so I find the middle number, and there really isn't a middle number because, again, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to realize I have eight numbers here, so divide 8 by 2 and you go in 4, and that puts me right there. So it's going to be between 19 and 21. All right, so, well, you go 19 plus 21. So rather than adding it up and finding average, just reason it out. What number is halfway between 19 and 21? Well, 20. Right? And see how easy that is? And then do the same thing with this set of numbers, right? Or sorry, I got to include that 50. Right? So you would say, okay, and this is part of it as well. So we got 50, 47, 45, 29. 29, 28, 27, 27. So there's 8 numbers in there. So if I go 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then if I came 4 from the other direction, 1, 2, 3, 4, that puts me right here, right? And halfway between 29 and 29 is 29, right? So now I've got my minimum, I've got my quartile 1, I've got my median, I've got my quartile 3, and I've got my max. And so I believe when you do this, what I'm going to do really quick is I'm going to write these numbers down on another piece of paper so I can move this on the screen. Right, so you got a minimum of 8, you've got quartile 1 of 20. I don't know if you can hear me writing this down, you're probably laughing. Quartile 3 of 29, and the max is 50. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to lose this and work with it right here. All right, so my minimum is 8, so I'm going to grab this and I'm going to look at that number until it gets me to 8, and then I'm going to stop. Right now, for my quartile 1, I'm going to grab this number. I'm going to go till it brings me to 20. All right, for my median, that's at 26. So I'm going to grab that number and move it over to 26. My quartile 3 is at 29. I'm going to move my max first. So let's take this one and move this all the way over to 50. All right. Sweet. And then 29 for this guy. It's really close to it. There we go. All right, so if you look at this, that box represents 50% of the data. It represents the data from 25 to 75% in the data set. And then the line off to the left represents the values that comprise the lower quarter of the data, all right, the lower 25%, and then the line to the right comprises the data that's the upper 25%. And then obviously those points that we have are those 5-number summary points, right? So that's how this works. It's kind of cool. It's called the Box-And-Whisker plot, and it's a really nice way to look at data. And we did well. So good work, guys. Thanks for sticking with me on this.